at-risk youth.
They put the U in community.
Doc love the kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy,
where we give you the courtesy of conversation
that's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Hey, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to catch us on our other shows, The Friday Fix, Plays and Parlays, UFC with LT, and Civil Discourse. Hello, Wes. Welcome to
How you doing, D-Mac,
no homelessness. I'm doing good. I just don't. I got to make sure I get dressed every day now. I don't want to get mistaken
for a homeless person. Have you been? Yeah. I've been watching that, and I've seen them going through different neighborhoods over there as well too, and just walking up on people's doorstep saying, "Hey, you got your ID on you?" You know what I mean? Just asking people questions who are sitting on their stoops, sitting on their porches. Yeah. Like, hey, this. I mean,
absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
hey,
they're like, hey, just don't be out here drinking. Don't be out here smoking.
What were they keep? What they keep saying though? Whose name they keep saying during that? The same interaction.
Like,
we watched the same
Trump
one.
Wanted us to do this.
Donald Trump wants to clean up the streets. It's like they're almost trying to push out the message that Trump did this. Trump is doing this.
He did do that. You know the whole reason he did it, right? It wasn't, well, mainly it was because that the one guy they call Big Whatever got jumped, right? But then also he was driving from the White House and he saw homeless people on the streets. He said, "Oh, how disgusting! Get him out of here." And that's why he did
that as well. I believe bigger than that. I believe he did it for like a test run. He did it to prove a point that I can do it, at the same time to desensitize people to it being done. And I can do it here because it's legally he can do it there easiest. He can do it in the District of Columbia because he can federalize those streets by decree. It's easy, you know what I mean, for him to do it. However, I think he really did it at the same time too. So when he does push out further into other areas, like say like a Baltimore or a New York, you know what I mean, or LA, that they like if there are protests, they won't be at his front gate. Because he now has troops on the street to quell and quash.
Well, think about that also, and when my bad to cut you off. And in DC, he's created basically his own castle. That's what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? So when they try to come out there and come and get him, he has a force to stop people.
This is exactly what I'm saying as well. You know what I mean? Anyway, you know what I mean? But we'll have to report more on this because this is something that's developing. They said it's like 7 days or whatever because he only has a certain amount of time he can do this for legally before he has to revert back unless he has some type of a existential emergency, and he doesn't. This is like they have like all the cities that he's talking about. They're telling them that even in Baltimore, it has like they're at a 50-year low for crime rates at a 50-year low, and all the cities
30-year low. Yeah.
They said he really had no reason to do it. He's just trying to prove a point and like you said, flex his muscles. Did it in LA. He's desensitizing people to this right now. So we'll become complacent with an authoritarian, totalitarian type government coming into, you know, I mean, it's crazy that we're sitting here and people are not protesting their off in the streets right now. I'm kind of shocked about it.
Well, actually, speaking of protests, Wes, Trump plans 600-soldier military reaction force ready to strike at any moment's notice. Here's what it'll do. Donald Trump eyes National Guard's quick reaction force to respond to domestic unrest. Half of these troops will be based on military bases in Alabama and Arizona, as per the report. They will be ready at all times to quickly deploy to any city or state experiencing unrest or protest, according to the New Republic report. The troops would be equipped with military-style weapons, riot gear, and would be sent in waves of 100 soldiers, according to the report. To prevent burnouts, the soldiers would rotate every 90 days, as per the New Republic report. The Pentagon document also raises concern about the reduced availability of the National Guard, the cost of the program, logistical challenges, and the possible public and political impact, along with other negative external impacts the programs could cause, as reported by the New Republic. Title 10 versus Title 32, how Donald Trump could use federal authorities. Trump would have the authority to call upon the National Guard under federal law known as Title 10 and Title 32. While Title 10 limits the Guard's role mainly to assist local police without making arrests or leading investigations, Title 32 allows the Guards to operate with expanded power, including making arrests and acting more aggressively in states declared to have unrest. Trump used Title 32 during the Black Lives protests in 2022 or in 2020. And so basically, this is his own strike force. So you want to get in the streets and protest? You know, he saw them protesting during his military parade. And that's basically, he'd be like, oh, they're protesting. Somebody goes in there because, you know, most of the protesters, the people in there breaking glass aren't part of the protest. They're the agitators. So now he'll have a strike force, his own army that he can send in to stop any protests. And he can dub it, since he controls the media. He can be like, oh, yeah, civil unrest. They're breaking bottles. They're attacking police officers. You know,
at this point in time, our own citizens are against our own citizens. We believe that there is a difference between certain areas of the United States when it comes to citizenship. There's actual people actually think that because you live in a rural area or a less populated area, that people who live in more populated areas are all on welfare or all crazy or all taking something away from it or all taking from the government, mooching off, whatever the case may be. We've divided ourselves up for the picking right now, and we really believe that things will get.
I honestly don't. I honestly don't think Americans think that anymore. I think these are a lot of bots online. Think about that. There might be, but I think there's a lot of bots online that are just saying this, because when you see those meetings with the constituents that these Republicans are having, these people ain't having it. The whole towns, these people are like, what are you doing? You're taking away our health care. You're doing this. This is not what we were told. That's what I'm seeing. And then when I get online, it's bots. You know what I'm saying? Because there's bots out here defending Donald Trump and Epstein. But see, this right here, he has his own strike force to quell any kind of protest.
Yeah, the people who actually voted for him, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of people who voted for him. 77 million people. They believe this. They talk like this all the time. We hear them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when this kind of things happen, when he comes out with this type of a strike force, like these type of things right here, then he's going to put him in, what do you say, Mississippi and Alabama? Perfect place to keep him at, because what kind, like, it's a mind frame at this point in time. You keep them away from the city slickers,
and so they can, they can get anywhere.
But do you understand what I'm saying, though? It's a mind frame at that point in time. Once you're out in rural areas, put away from people, you're not used to. It's like when I go to, imagine the kids who they got right now, people who they have. Okay. So imagine people who they have right now in DC. A lot of these kids are from rural areas and from poor areas who are not from bigger cities, because most times there's a lot less opportunity in those places. So they get a lot of their troops come from places like that. They're being put in these cities, and they have a way of thinking about something. You're protecting America is what they're being told, and this is not what's really happening. You're really being put forth as the first wave of something that we've never had to deal with in this country before, and it's strange and it's sickening at this point in time that we're being subjected to this. And we're basically we're a voice of reason, but there needs to be more voices, and there needs to be more action from people to stop things like this.
There needs to be a resistance at this point, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in a dictator authoritarianship. Let's just keep it 1,000. The only reason that they're acting like it's not is because they need you to keep paying taxes to pay off, the rich folks. But I mean, they're sending troops onto the streets. You know what I'm saying? Civil unrest. The price of your groceries is going up. I know they are. Mine are. The price of gas is going up. I know it is. Mine is. I went to go get gas the other day. It was $5.09. You know what I'm saying? And so what they're doing, they're just squeezing you. And the whole thing is they can only squeeze so many people. Like, they've already squeezed the poor communities. They're doing that. They're rounding up, Hispanic people, citizens or not. You know what I'm saying? Your president hasn't even admitted. I was thinking about this today. He's never even come out and said, I am not a pedophile.
He hasn't had to. No one cares.
I'm not a sex offender. He's never came out and said it. Anybody, I mean, not even once. He's just, Epstein, you're still talking about that.
Did you see when Kash Patel went on during his whole
he went and
talked about DC, and his eyes looked all whacked out, and he's looking all over the place when he's sitting there. But the first things he's saying is, Trump has helped catch this many SA offenders and all kinds of stuff like this. He's saying all this stuff first, like putting these numbers out. And if you watch Trump's face, it kind of like, it kind of like switched up a little bit. Like, what are you gonna say?
People don't understand. Just look up anybody sitting there. Look up a picture. I'm gonna put up a picture of Kash Patel up here. He always looks like this.
Yeah,
it looks like you caught him at 7-Eleven with a skimmer.
It's too bad, man. But
I said it.
Yeah, absolutely. Trump and Putin will meet at an Alaska military base long used to counter Russia. In an iconic twist, President Donald Trump is set to discuss the war in Ukraine with Russian leader Vladimir Putin at a military base in Alaska that was crucial to countering the Soviet Union during the height of the Cold War and still plays a role today. The meeting is scheduled to take place Friday at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Anchorage, according to a White House official who spoke on conditions of anonymity to discuss internal planning. The base created by merging Elmendorf Air Force Base and Army Fort Richardson in 2010 has played a key strategic role in monitoring and deterring the Soviet Union during much of the Cold War. Throughout its long history, the base hosted large numbers of aircraft and oversaw operations of a variety of early warning radar sites that were aimed at detecting Soviet military activity and any possible nuclear launches. It earned the motto "Top Cover" for North America at this time, according to the base website. While much of the military hardware has since been deactivated, the base still hosts key aircraft squadrons, including F-22 Raptor stealth fighter jet. Planes from the base also intercept Russian aircraft that regularly fly into U.S. airspace. So, yeah, this will be the first meeting that the two leaders have had since I think he's been in that Donald Trump's been in power. And so this meeting, yeah. And so this meeting is kind of like set up to where they can see if there's any common ground that they can come to on the Ukraine war. And right now, Putin is pretty much at a point where he's talking about, hey, I have a very strong foothold. I took over 1/5 of Ukraine, and I'm going to keep it. But Trump came out talking about having some land swaps. So, and Zelensky came out and said, no, we're not trying to trade off any of our land. And so today, Zelensky and the European Union, presidents and prime ministers all were had like a kind of a web meeting with Trump, and they let him know, hey, we're all behind Zelensky. We're not trying to have to give away land, and this is the things that we want. We want an immediate peace. And Trump kind of has had a point where he's like, you know what? If I go into this meeting and I don't feel like there's going to be any kind of a deal, we're going to start our sanctions. We're going to start, toughening up on Russia, and we'll see if he does it.
I doubt he will. He won't. He's compromised by Russia and he's compromised by Israel. That's the end of the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, these two countries are punking him at all times. They have dirt on him. We know this, because if they didn't, he'd be putting sanctions on Russia like he did. Like, you gonna put sanctions on India? Like, they didn't even do nothing to you. Like, all you're doing is just messing with the people around us and stuff. Like,
our allies. Our allies.
See. I mean, I don't believe Donald Trump is fully competent anymore. I believe he's not all there. I mean, I just showed you before we even started this. I was showing you a video of him talking. He was just not knowing where people are. He's going through early stages of dementia, so it's going to be weird what he's going to say over there, what he's going to do. I don't think anything productive is going to come out of the meeting.
I hope. I mean, I hope so, because right now I know there's a lot of Ukrainians that are being killed. I mean, Russia has taken a substantial portion of their property. Crimea. I mean, right now they're becoming almost a landlocked nation to a degree. Right now, what's happened to them in the Black Sea over there, with them taking, basically took all their waterfront property here and they took Crimea. So they have a whole, a lot of their property, man, has just been confiscated. Their kids, they've stolen a lot of their kids. I mean, a lot of their people are just dying on a consistent basis. This isn't a good situation for anyone. Of course, I'd want Ukraine to be able to, fight back and keep on fighting if they need to. But at this point in time, this war needs to come to an end, because it's not servicing anyone well, and it's really not going to service Ukraine well at this point in time.
Well, I mean, it's not going to end until Russia gets what they want. That's the end of it. It's either Russia gets what they want or the UK stops supplying Ukraine. Because the only reason Ukraine is going on this long is because, Europe is supplying them with weapons. Like I said, when that war first started, it should have been over after 2 weeks.
It was us too. We helped. We supplied them weapons.
Yeah, we did. And it should have been
intelligence as well.
But they made the mineral deal, so he kind of has to do something now. But I mean, we're going to see if he's going to buckle under pressure or not. He's a lame duck president, even though he's not leaving, and he built a fort around himself. So we shall see. We'll keep you up to date with this. I know we haven't spoke about it in a while, but it's so much going on. We're just trying to give you as much as we can here. Terrifying reason: 300,000 Black women lost jobs in 2025. The headlines say the job market is strong, but Black women know a different story. Over the past 3 months, nearly 300,000 Black women have been pushed out of the workforce, with 518,000 who never returned to the force after the pandemic. Now, with federal layoffs, DEI rollbacks, and structural inadequacies, thank you, at play, it's quite crisis. It's a quiet crisis that speaks volume. When the budget gets tight, Black women are the first to go. Employment rates have remained somewhat steady for other groups of workers, except us. Between February and April 2025, we lost an estimated 304,000 jobs, despite the overall U.S. economy adding a reportedly 175,000 jobs in the same period, per the National Black Chamber of Commerce. Where the face of the most dramatic month-to-month increase in unemployment across gender and race, skyrocketing from 5.1 to 6.1 in March alone. Luckily, the rate decreased slightly, and unemployment for Black women 20 and older fell to 5.8% for the month of June, still significantly higher than the national average, according to Axis. And we weren't the only ones smashing the red button. Economists and experts warn these numbers could signal deeper cracks in the job market. We may be down, but the real question is, who's next? And it says, what's fueling disparities? It's cut to federal employment. Within the labor market are sure to come for the most vulnerable first, Black women. Not only do we make up the majority of federal employee roles, we're overrepresented in agencies targeted for budget cuts, including U.S. aid. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and Department of Education, where we account for 28% of the workforce. So, my mom brought this up to me, and I didn't realize what was going on. She's like, you know how you destroy the Black middle class, right? You get rid of all the federal jobs, because the majority of Black people, Black women, they work these federal jobs. And that's what they did when Doge came in. That's who they got rid of. You know what I'm saying? Like, the majority of them were Black women working these federal jobs. And I was like, damn, I didn't even realize that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they came in and gutted most of their jobs. And I remember my friend, Donovan, rest in peace. He was like, yeah, my mom just lost her job. She was working over here. She was a federal employee and she got fired. I was like, dang, I didn't put two and two together. But I mean, evil works in the dark really quick. And this is just something that, it's not going to make headlines in this world, in this economy. So, I mean, I thought that was pretty damning information I wanted to share with everybody.
No, definitely. I mean, 300,000 jobs is a lot of jobs, especially these type of jobs they're talking about. These are well-paying jobs, good benefits, everything like that. I mean, these families are living well above, middle class. Or these jobs are paying in between 80, 100 something $1,000 a year or more. So I mean, when you're taking this kind of jobs out of the Black community, because these people are just probably not only just Black women, they're probably veterans, because a lot of these jobs were taken up by veterans as well. A lot of veterans going to the federal workforce. They talked about how many veterans lost their jobs. It's a lot easier for a veteran to find a job in the federal government than it is to find a job in the private sector, because their skill sets match up much better there. It's more of a a regimented type of thing. And so, I mean, this is something that I think that even people who are veterans should be taking a look at, especially us. I know a lot of times I was talking to a guy one time. There's somebody who I was working with, and he said something as a Black dude. And he said something about some people who are like Latino, and he was like, "Hey, I guess this is why Trump wanted you guys up out of here." And I was just like, "Dang!" And I couldn't believe he said that. This is because I'm looking at us act like we're better than someone else, and in reality, we're all going to lose at this point in time. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing what's going on with this Doge thing. I mean, we're all going to lose. You know what I mean? When they're cutting federal jobs, we lose. These are our mothers. These are our sisters. These are our grandmothers that are losing their jobs right now. These are people who are being able to.
Yes. And what the people are doing in those jobs, we still haven't hit the full effect. I mean, well, Texas felt it a little bit when they got rid of the NOAA. A hurricane season's coming. I mean, you don't understand how much stuff is cut until you're really going to need it in the system. And these jobs are highly important. We've built our nation up to be in a position where these jobs were needed. Now, am I going to say some of them were wasteful jobs? Yes, I can say that. Some contract jobs were wasteful. It's wasteful money, but you just never know. I mean, they said it was 1% of the deficit, and we didn't even get to the deficit because we're 37 trillion right now.
Yeah, I mean
37 trillion.
I mean, like I say, we have to do better amongst ourselves, because we have to understand the more jobs we lose, we're not getting those jobs back. And what do you think is going to happen next? AI is coming after that. So, I mean, would you rather have these people working in the federal government, or competing for your job when AI falls off? Now they have more skills than you do. They've worked in the federal government. They've worked at a higher level job. They've had to have higher credentials than you have to get your job.
Elon Musk said we're going to have a universal income here in America pretty soon, because the robots are going to take most of the jobs. Think about it. They're about to take all the trucking jobs, because they already have, or the driving jobs. I see it when I was at Amazon for the 3 weeks before I quit. I saw it set up for the robots to come in. You know what I'm saying? The way they monitor your driving, and they have cameras all over the van. They're testing where they can go from the houses. They're scanning all that stuff. the way that they move all the stuff around inside the warehouse, and the way it's set up for the robots to come in. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, nah, this ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? All these jobs that fast food's robots going to take that. Your groceries, you're not going to have to. Yeah.
I saw a guy online today with a drone fly over his yard and dropped a package, and it had you see it, and it's like it was just like some pistachios. Yeah, it's nothing like you could have went to the store and bought, and it had a bunch of wrapping on it, and it fell to the ground with a parachute on it. I'm like, this is the next wave right here. Now the drivers are out of the way. I mean, they're gonna be it's gonna take a little bit more time. Don't get me wrong, but air traffic is pretty much open around here. Yeah. They can fly and keep them in line. You know what I mean? What I mean? So there's definitely going to be an issue here with jobs. People don't see it, but it's coming very, very fast. We're living high on the hog right now. Even if they gave us a minimum a wage, universal wage, what do you think everyone's going to do? Oh, that's how much money you got? Oh, I'm about to raise my prices at least to here now.
Because that's what they do with the senior citizen homes. They take about 75% of their checks. That's their whole. It's 75% of your check, and you get this 25.
To even get certain, I'm not sure if it's Medicaid, Medicare, to even be able to get yourself into like a retirement home or older folks home or something like that you have to deplete all of your income, like anything that you have to get rid of all that. They get rid of everything you got, and then we'll help take care of you once you ain't got nothing no more.
A lot of those seniors are actually going to be getting kicked out of those assisted living homes. People haven't realized that because they're on Medicaid, and they lost their Medicaid. Yeah. So a lot of that's been happening. I've seen it some places they were like, we had to kick out about 60% of the people. And where are they going to go? Man. Who's going to take care of them? It's sad. Crazy, all for profits for billionaires.
I mean, but that's what this country is all about. They've shown us that time in and time out. I mean, it keeps on showing that. But let me move on to this next one. Supreme Court formally asked to overturn landmark same-sex marriage ruling. 10 years after the Supreme Court extended marriage rights to same-sex couples nationwide, the justices this fall will consider for the first time whether to take up a case that explicitly asked them to overturn that decision. Kim Davis, the former Kentucky county clerk who was jailed for 6 days in 2015 after refusing to issue marriage licenses to a gay couple on religious grounds, is appealing a $100,000 jury verdict for emotional damages plus $260,000 for attorney's fees. In a petition for writ of Satori, I don't know how to say that word, filed last month, Davis argues First Amendment protection for free exercise of religion immunizes her from personal liability for the denial of marriage licenses. More fundamentally, she claims the High Court's decision in Obergefell versus Hodges extended marriage rights for same-sex couples under the 14th Amendment due process protections was egregiously wrong. The mistake must be corrected, wrote Davis attorney Matthew Staver in the petition. He calls Justice Anthony Kennedy's majority opinion in Obergefell legal fiction. The petition appears to mark the first time since 2015 that the court has been formally asked to overturn the landmark marriage decision. Davis is seen as one of the only Americans currently with legal standing to bring a challenge to the precedent. Wow. This is where we are now in this country. We're at a point right now in this country where they're ready to overturn same-sex marriage.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
I mean, with this court that we have now, there's a lot coming down the pipeline. This is what we don't realize. And it's almost like what we don't realize. People, I feel like it was a setup. Come on, man. After Obama, we get Trump. We just so happen to get Trump, and then the court flips.
Well, no, that makes sense. It does. Well, it's like this, right? When Obama, I let my camera zoom in, fix itself. Mm-hmm. Obama was in there, right? And people saw it. They had a lot of fear. And then so Hillary Clinton was coming in next, right? And they went at Hillary Clinton for a good 2 years. You know what I'm saying? They had the Benghazi stuff. They went at Hillary for a good 2 years, right? People were like, oh, the lesser of two evils. The lesser of two evils. And people said it. They're like, look, a couple Supreme Court justices are going to retire. And you want those spots. But after Obama, people felt so, what's the word I'm looking for here? Full of themselves. You know what I'm saying? They felt full of themselves. People thought they could, Hillary Clinton's, I'm not going to vote for her. So I could be like, well, I didn't vote for her, but I can still say whatever I want. And I'm telling people like, look, man, if Hillary Clinton comes in, we have a chance to end white supremacy. We had a chance to do it. Nobody cared. They remember they're doing protest votes. They voted for Bernie Sanders. So Trump comes in, gets 2 seats, you know what I'm saying? Supreme Court seats. does whatever he does, people
and
realize
picks up a third seat, and then picks up a third seat on top of that.
Think about it. And then people realize, dang, we made a bad choice. We get Joe Biden in there, right? And then he's trying to clean up this mess that Trump made. And then Trump said, "Oh, you see what happened? I can fix it." And people fell for the okie doke again. But the whole thing is the Democrats are trying to put a woman against Donald Trump. You put a man against him, he ain't gonna win because a man can stand up to him. And nobody want to hear what Hillary got to say. Nobody hear what Kamala got to say. I don't care what the news be doing. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you voted for what? Think about it. During Donald Trump's presidency, he took away women's reproductive rights, and women still got up there. They acted. No one even brought that up. You know what I'm saying? During anything, never even, remember he took away your reproductive rights. What else do you think he's going to do? Yes, they're going to get rid of gay marriage. Yes, they're going to. I mean, that's what you voted for.
This is what this is all about, and it's just strange to me because I look at that as it's marriage is a business in my book. I don't look at marriage as something that, is or seen before God or religious purposes or anything like that. They've turned it into a business, no matter what. That's how we have to look at it. I know we like to say that it's for religious purposes and all that. If it was just for that, then you wouldn't be attached at the hip for everything that this person owes and all the money and all. That's what they want out of marriage. Okay, how can I saddle you with this person's debt that they made? How can I make sure that you're legally binding to take these fees or these costs over here? Now, when you want to get divorced, you got to pay for that too. So everything's a pay process.
You know what made me upset about the whole situation? When gays wanted to get married, I understand you want to get married, but you should have made up your own thing. They had the opportunity to create a whole different kind of ceremony, call it whatever they want to call it, and it could have been so fly that everybody be like, "Yeah, I want to do that." It's the same thing as a marriage license, but it's called something different. Because marriage in the Bible, hold on, marriage in the Bible. In the Bible, that's where it comes from. It's between a man and a woman.
Are we going to go to the Bible?
So check it out. Hey, look. Hey, let me finish, Wes. Let me cook.
So marriage comes from the Bible?
In the Bible, it's described as a man and a woman, between a man and a woman.
Okay, it's described.
The gay community had a chance to create their own thing with the same kind of marriage certificate, but make their own kind of thing, their own kind of ceremony. They're like, no, we want to get married like this, want to do that, whatever. What do you want? So they got that, right? But then they didn't stop. Listen. Then they didn't stop. They're like, well, now you have to call me by my pronouns. And if you don't, I'm going to cancel you. Now we want representation in kids' cartoons. Now we want to go to the kids' school and read them books. Now we want our books in the libraries. You know what I'm saying? Now we want our stuff in the commercials. We want all this stuff. As soon as they started going after the kids, that's where it backfired. Because we all forgot about gay marriage. Let's keep it 1,000. Like, oh, yeah, gay people can get married. We didn't care. It's once you started attacking the children and trying to push your beliefs on the children that you can't naturally have because of your sexual orientation is when it backfired on you. And now you're seeing the repercussions of that.
Well, this is what I'm going to say. I mean, there's really no other thing but marriage that will suffice for marriage because of the law, because of how the law reads and how the laws wrote. You can't have the same kind of, privileges that marriage has without having real marriage. That's just one thing I would say, and to me, marriage is not about the Bible or about any type of religion. They've shown us that already because they made it into something that's more corporate than it is anything else. Divorce rates are through the roof. Let's just not look at marriage for like what we want it to be versus what it really is. I don't have a problem with people who are same sex getting married. It doesn't matter.
I do not either.
That's not to try and try to say that you do. I'm just saying it doesn't really matter to me. I don't care about that. I probably used to. Don't get me wrong. I probably used to when I was younger until I figured out, oh man, this is a business that you guys are operating here. Yeah. This is nothing but a business. It'd be different if it was some truly religious thing that was based off of this, and this religion was really serious about X, Y, and Z. Because we can go through it, but I just don't have a problem with that. And I think right now they're trying to break down all societal norms as a part of this whole entire thing we talked about earlier when we were talking about DC societal norms. They're turning us into an arcane society. Did you not see where Pete Hegseth put the video out on his page of that guy saying he don't think that women should have the right to vote?
Yep.
The guy came and said, so how do you think that works? I think households should vote, and the man has the right pretty much to pick the vote. He said, so how would your wife have a right? He said, well, you can discuss it with her, and you guys can come up. So basically, you like, what do you think? And you don't like what she thinks. What she think don't matter anyway. So it's a crazy process that we're going back. Don't get me wrong. I think there's some things that may hold merit in some directions that could hold merit and that could help society as a whole. But overall, man, you guys are trying to turn this back
down, bro. We going back. We going back.
They want that. They want that because at the end of the day, they know that the road is over for them. You know what I mean? This for us to have a thing to say we're going somewhere, we're not, because it's impossible. They don't have the numbers. It's a done deal. This is all like a gas. Well, it's all like a putter. It's over.
There was a Republican legislator, and he said this in Texas. He was like, "Look, y'all trying to make this redistricting is because your policies are unpopular, and you don't want to have to face the consequences of the voters. So what you're trying to do is move things around so you don't have to so you don't have to give up that power because you're in power. You want to do it." He's like, "But your policies are trash. Nobody likes them. They're not working. And instead of facing the music, you're like, you just want to move the goalpost so you can keep doing what you're doing." But hey, don't worry. We don't have that much time.
Because we can. No. The guy said, she asked me, you see the guy said that? He was like, she was like, "So why do you want to do this right now in the middle of the census?" He's like, "Because we can."
Yeah,
it's pretty much what and so that's why they're doing it.
Democrats were like this, we wouldn't be in the situation in the first place.
But the fact of the matter is, we're creating.
They're putting up petty crimes on people right now. The Republicans are, right. If the Democrats would have just put their foot down from the beginning, we wouldn't be in this situation. Donald Trump would be in jail right now. Half the Republican Party would be in politicians would be in jail right now for treason.
But what they fear is the fact of the matter is the fact of the matter is what they feared would have happened. You know what I mean? We saw what happened on January 6th.
And look what's happening now.
You think there wouldn't have? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong.
It wouldn't matter.
This isn't disagreeing with your point.
The army. You had to control the military. Now you don't. So
this isn't disagreeing with your point. We're going to go through this phrase any way it went. We were going to go through this, man. This was a part of the process of getting to the other side. We're going to lose some things, but hopefully we gain enough knowledge and understanding that when we get there, we know how to fix it, clean it up, and never have to deal with it again.
Yeah. Well, don't worry, folks. We don't have that long. Humans have less than 100 days until an alien ship reaches Earth, as it could save or destroy us. A Harvard professor claims an unexplained object flying towards Earth might be an alien spacecraft, and it could arrive in just less than 100 days. Professor Lebo has been closely watching a foreign object hurling through space and heading towards our planet. Unsure of the interstellar visitors, scientists dubbed the object 3-Eye Atlas and have been going back and forth with several theories on what the object could be. Perhaps a comet or space matter. However, Lebo previously said the object could be the product of technologically designed. Lebo compared the object to the novel Rendezvous with Rama by Arthur C. Clarke, and in it a foreign object in space happened to be an alien spacecraft. It was first discovered July 1st, and if the object is an alien ship, Lebo warns that it could be carrying a probe or even a weapon. He predicts that such a vehicle would reach Earth between November 21st and December 5th. Lobo has explained that this position would be ideal for deploying probes to habitable planets. He explains it could come to save us or destroy us. We better be prepared for both possibilities and verify that all interstellar objects are just rocks. The so-called interstellar object is just the third to have ever been spotted in our solar system. 3-1 Atlas is currently heading towards the inner solar system at about 135,000 miles an hour. According to NASA, this means the object will reach its closest point to the sun the night before Halloween on October 30th. They added that we shouldn't worry, as this is still 130 million miles away. However, due to its distance, boffins can't accurately measure its size and distance, or instead look at its reflecting lights to make a prediction. Either way, they're sure the size is quite significant, around 20 to 24 kilometers to be exact. This is up to 200 times larger than 100 meters long interstellar object last detected. Professor Lebo is confused by this and suggests that the rarity of seeing a large object is enough to confuse experts. Now, let me tell everybody how they know it's an alien ship. So usually when a comet flies by, you know what I'm saying? When a comet flies, it leaves around space matter, like, dust and stuff coming off the comet. This doesn't have any of that. There's nothing. It's an object. It's a ship. It's a dead ship. And it's going to use, I think it's supposed to use Saturn's gravitational pull to zip around and use that to speed up. And then by the time it gets to us, it's going to be in front of, between us and the sun, right? So they won't be able to see it. It's going to put itself out of sight and do whatever it needs to do. It's a dead ass, excuse my language. It's an alien ship. It's a real one.
So they're saying there's nothing, there's no like any kind of like dust or rocks or any kind of stuff flying off it. It's just a smooth.
Yep,
And they said this isn't the first time this has happened, right?
No, it's the third time. I remember one time it happened. Right, there was a ship that came into our galaxy or whatever, and they showed it. It was like straight. Then it had like spinning cylinders or whatever on it, right? And it stopped. It mined an asteroid and then dipped off. They had pictures of it. This is not the first time. This is happened.
I'm gonna have to check that out. That's
you
crazy.
You gotta look into it. And look, it's gonna be here, folks, in less than 100 days. And
so how did it get? I mean, we have isn't it traveling at a speed right now that's like not even something, and in a straight line too?
It's that, and it's the way it's moving. It's moving against the grain. You know what I'm saying? Like usually, like asteroids, like they pick up speed. It's going against the grain. Like so, and it's changing. It's doing whatever it wants to do. They can tell by the way it's moving. They're like, yo, the way it's moving, it's a ship. It's not an asteroid.
Why hasn't this been reported on more? You think
it has? We talk, but we don't have time to care.
Not just are you talking about people in general?
Yeah, people. We don't have time to go. Oh, the alien ship's coming. What's that got to do with rent?
The day before Halloween, huh? Maybe this is why certain things are brought up as holidays. We never know why things are the way they are until they are the way they are. You know what I mean?
Because people are saying that they're the U.S. or the government is supposed to be doing, or the world is going to fake an alien attack and use drones, lights and drones to make it seem like we're being under attack by aliens. This has actually been a wide conspiracy that's been out there for maybe a couple of years, and now they're saying it's coming to fruition. But I mean, you can actually, you can Google the photo of the ship. They have pictures of it from far away. Like you can't see the ship, but they're showing you the objects. It looks like it's an armada of ships. Honestly, but the way it's moving, there's nothing coming behind it. It's a ship and it's coming.
And so I'm wondering how much time does it normally take them to know something's going to be passing by us, and how will this thing get up on us so quickly and we didn't know until like a few months before it actually going to pass by us or whatever it's going to do.
Didn't know until it got to our galaxy, I believe.
I mean, but it's got here very, very fast. I mean, normally, but we'll know other things that are coming. We know like something's coming that's going to pass by Earth so close that it's there, that it might hit the moon or Earth in 2030 or 2032. We know this now.
Sometimes they miss those. I mean, that's so what people do, astrologers do, well, they just be looking in the sky. That's why they have telescopes and stuff. They just be looking around. They'd be like, oh, hey, look, I found something. Ha. And they get to name it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or they'd be like, hey, that's all they're doing. They're just looking around. Unless there's a satellite out there that's probing things, and then they can get pictures of it. Because other than that, they're just looking around.
It just really seems like this may be something because of you won't have this up on us real quick. It's like somebody got the drop on us and we didn't know they were coming.
I'm telling you, bro, like they said, the way that it's supposed to come in, it's gonna even when it gets close enough for us to see it, we won't be able to see it because it's going to position itself in front of the sun, between us and the sun. So you can't look at the sun and be like there's something in there because you'll be blinded. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it's coming. Now, are they coming for peace, or are they coming to kill us? You know what I'm saying? And take over and do whatever they do. Like one of my favorite movies is Battle Los Angeles, because the aliens came here they landed on the beaches. They came to steal the water. That's all they came for. They got to kill everybody first, but then they kind of steal the water and then take off.
Understandable. Yeah. I mean, so let's hope this is somebody who either a space rocks or whatever, or something that comes in peace.
Or 7-foot black folks coming to save us. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is Uncommon Courtesy. Until next time.